What up, YouTube? What is good? It's your boy ACS. Obviously, if you're at the channel, you know who it is. Welcome to the ACS Universe Daily. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, which was do sort of there's a lot of news that comes out between Saturday and Thursday, right? So that's pretty much like between streams now, since Andre doesn't do the show in the evenings anymore, so I don't get a chance to talk about like any kind of news that comes out in those days. So and for the longest time, I just didn't have the time to do sort of a thing where I jump on here and talk to everybody for 15, 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes. If the conversation is fire and it goes on longer than that, then that is absolutely, incredible. It will go on like that. Hold on, let me see what we got here. What up? Hold up. Let me make sure I get my stuff up. First time, y'all. Give me just a second to get everything going, man. Put some background music on. Let's see. All right. Let's get the vibe going. Drogo, what is good? What is good? Prima, what's up? Like I said, this is something I've been wanting to do for a while. Just a little show, 15, 20 minutes, you know what I'm saying? 3 to 4 times a week where I get on here and talk about news and stuff that I normally wouldn't get a chance to speak on until like 4 Nerds on Thursdays or my show on Fridays, which, by the way, if you aren't aware, has went to every other weekend, started spending weekends with the fam. And so like the ACS Universe is now every other Friday. So we did one last Friday, won't be one this week, won't be one next week. And you'll find out why. I'll be in Michigan watching some Watchmen live with the fam and stuff up there. But anyway, yeah, so this is what this is going to be, man. Like I said, 3 to 4 times a week. If there's some news to talk about, I talk about the news. Really, there ain't much today that I saw, except for we're going to talk about The Last of Us, episode 7 that came on last night. I got a couple other topics. But yeah, man, just vibing with you guys. How was you guys' weekend? How you guys doing? How's your day been? My weekend was all right. Didn't do much at all. Did some shit around the house, laundry, shit like that, dishes. Played a lot of PlayStation, a lot of PS5. Still playing God of War Ragnarok. Haven't finished it yet. Don't think because I hadn't finished it that the game isn't fire, because it's incredible. But a lot of games. Got my PS5 in like December, and I'm still just like massively hooked on playing every game I have on it from time to time. So I'll be finishing. You say, oh, you still need to watch? Yeah, man, it's fire, dude. It's fire. What's good, Allie? What's good? Thanks for stopping through. So again, people who just now jumped in, 3 to 4 times a week, 15 to 20 minutes a day. I'll get on here and talk to you guys, have a little hangout session, talk about any news that has come out or whatnot. And that's how it's going to be for a little bit, man. Like I said, been wanting to do this for a while and finally got a chance to, considering football season is done. Instant replay returns. There's actually there's some instant replay stuff coming sooner rather than later. Just like this show is a little daily ACS Universe, there's going to be some instant replay daily stuff coming closer to the draft, because that's when most of that news comes out. But yes, it's Left Behind DLC. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Yes. What up, Joey? What's good, homie? Joey in the house. Come to I appreciate everybody jumping in on the maiden voyage of the ACS Universe Daily. Appreciate you guys. By the way, this music in the background, this fire that you guys are hearing, is called Anderson.Pock is the artist. Fire musician. He plays like all the instruments, and didn't get the vocals version because I don't want to get clapped. Was going to use some of this Last of Us music that I have for some background music, but people by large have been getting their streams and their pre-recorded videos clapped upon by YouTube for having like music from The Last of Us. So yeah, we out. But people have been getting clapped for using that Last of Us music, which is why your boy will not be using it. I used it before. My stream didn't get messed with, but there are people doing like, playthroughs of the game, obviously, because the game was already popular, but it's brought more eyes to the game. So a lot of people are playing it on their Twitch channels and things like that. And on YouTube, they're bouncing your stuff, man. They'll say copyright, and it's the music, I guess, because the show has the same music as the game, which why the fuck would they not? But and they're getting clapped for it. So hopefully, I've seen a lot of things on Twitter where they're like tagging like the creators of the show, Neil Druckmann, and things like that, trying to get them to see if they can't straighten it out. Because if people are just doing a simple playthrough of your game on Twitch or YouTube or whatever, and they're getting clapped for like music, I think that's a problem. So hopefully they get that fixed, and hopefully people's streams don't get bothered or whatever. But yeah, man, that's all it is, man. Today, man, I'm gonna talk about The Last of Us episode 7, Left Behind. Also wanted to mention something else to you guys. Do this real quick. All right, so if you didn't know, and there's a link down below this video for Movie Lovers Unite, that YouTube channel for my homeboy John. So on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we break down every episode of The Last of Us. Have done it since the episode 1, and we'll be doing it again in a couple days. And so the link down below is for that. It's every Wednesday at 9 p.m. So I met a couple people doing that, though. I already knew John and stuff, but I met a couple people. And this one dude, Don, that's on there, cool dude, he hit me up. And he was like, you know, I know you're a football fan. I know you know, say like comic book characters, like fantasy characters, all of this kind of stuff. Now, mind you, your boy is not a D&D cat. I don't even know what to do with 20-sided die. You know what I'm saying? Like that's out of my realm. I don't play that stuff. But he said they have this game that they're coming up with that they're putting together, and he said it's like football with fantasy players. In other words, like fantasy football, but with like Superman, Kratos, whoever you want to pick. You know what I'm saying? Like in pop culture, as far as heroes, characters, RoboCop, all of that kind of shit. And I was like, okay, word, this is interesting. So we did a sort of a here, let me pull this up right quick. Make sure so we did sort of a test run where you got with somebody, and none of the scores or anything counted because they're trying to create this league, in which they have. And I'm gonna bring this up because let's see. It was dope. I didn't know how I'd feel about it once I got there, but it's basically a football field that's 200 yards long, 200, right? And you roll the dice, and you pick, like I said, the kind of characters you're picking to play offense and defense. And there's a whole bunch of rules involved. I wrote down a bunch of the stuff because it's kind of hard to remember. It's going to take a while to catch on. But if this thing does catch on, I know these dudes will be absolutely excited about that, because it was fun. Once I got sort of the gist of it, it was fun. And I was like, yo, this will be a dope thing. So this is it right here. If you could see that coming soon, it says Titans of the Turf is what it's called. I said Gridiron, I think I'm tripping. But Titans of the Turf, you can see my team right there, the Roar. You can see the little Thundercats logo. Obviously, that's your boy. So right now there's 6 teams. I don't know that they're planning on adding teams right now before this first like inaugural season to make sure, because there's still a lot of bugs they have to work out and things of that nature. So I think they're going to do this test season with the 6 teams that they have, and once that's done, I'm sure it's going to expand, because I think that this will be something that people will watch and think it's pretty fun to watch. Trying to have this like sort of a broadcast atmosphere on it, and some of the things we've talked about privately are looking pretty dope. So Titans of the Gridiron, like I said, it's like fantasy football with pop culture characters, and it's going to be dope, dude. It's going to be dope. So they're still working out the kinks and things of that nature, and like I don't know when it's going to actually start. The episodes of all the games and competitions will be like pre-recorded, and then they'll edit them up, and then they'll release them like the day after or whatever. And it's going to be dope, man. So Titans of the Turf, y'all. If y'all see, if I can put this right here. So there you go. You got, like you said, Titans of the Turf. Got the 6 teams right there coming soon. Like I said, I don't know exactly when it's going to be premiering for everybody to watch and enjoy and things of that nature. So we'll see when that happens. But yeah, man, Titans of the Turf. I'm excited, dude. I'm excited. I'm glad they invited me. Shouts out to Don and John and all you guys, man. What? Yeah, man. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. But I wanted to shout it out on this. Just to put it out there for stuff. I retweeted it as well, that the tweet that he tagged me in with all the teams and stuff on it. So it's going to be interesting, man. And once they get it down, because they're thinking of some big things with this, even so, because my team logo is obviously the Thundercats logo, and I wanted to call my team the Thundercats because I'm a fucking Thundercats fan, as you can see. But worry about copyright things, so they changed it to the Roar, which is absolutely fire. I love that. And the logo, they changed it up a bit. I like with Frenchie, another one of the cats that's in there, Frenchie, French cat, obviously, who worked with the logo and kind of put some other stuff in it. So, yeah, man, Titan to the gridiron, man. I'll keep you guys posted. You'll see me tweeting about this shit, and it's going to be on social media as we, get this thing off the ground. And hopefully it gets to where, you know what I'm saying, you have like fucking, the league is large, bro. Yeah, I'd love to see fucking 14 teams in this thing as opposed to just 6. But hopefully we'll see where that goes. And like I said, it's fun. And whenever it happens, I'm sure you guys will know because I'll be tweeting about it and stuff like that. All right. So pretty much the main topic of this episode, this very first inaugural episode of the ACS Universe Daily, is The Last of Us, man. Episode 7, Left Behind. All right. So if you've been watching The Last of Us, if you're still watching it, you're on episode, that means you like the show. Obviously, everybody, you know I do. That's it. That's my shit right there. I am a big time fan. Joey, chill, bro. Chill. He's oh man, got me sweating up in here. But yeah, The Last of Us episode 7. Like I said, big fan of the show. You already know. For me, every episode so far has been a 10 out of 10. The fact that they took this video game that is beloved by so many people and they've taken it and made it into live action, and it has not lost anything from the game. Like it makes me speechless sometimes after episode 5. Couldn't even really formulate thoughts after it was done because it was so different from the game, but absolutely the same in just one big ball of fucking fire. So yeah, the show's fire, dude. So I hope you're watching, and if you are, you already know what this is. So last night was episode 7, which was basically it was called Left Behind, basically based off of some DLC that they released. Now it's funny thing, I've had conversations with people, and a lot of people are confused about when this DLC came out because there's a certain chain of events that happened when it came to between consoles when it comes to Sony. PlayStation, as you can see here, PlayStation dude will always be a PlayStation guy until I die, son. So, but the DLC came out. So let's go back to the start of this shit. So give everybody like a proper roadmap. In June of 2013, The Last of Us was released. Now, it was basically released in the last leg of the PlayStation 3. Basically, PlayStation 3 still had games coming out after that, but for me, a console's run is over when the new console releases. I don't care what type of overlap you have. The console's run is done, in my personal opinion. So the PlayStation 3 released The Last of Us in June of that year. There's another game that came out that year too that was just as massive as The Last of Us, and it was also at the very, very end of the PlayStation's run. You probably already know what I'm talking about, but we had a conversation last Friday about games having these long runs and how relevant they've been for a decade. And these two games, which just happened to be the last two huge titles released on the PlayStation 3, The Last of Us and GTA 5, right? So if you play either one of those games, you know, or if you're into gaming, you know. Yeah, Ali. Yeah, appreciate you stopping through, though. Appreciate you stopping through. When you get to watch it, yeah, we can have a conversation about it. But yeah, appreciate you stopping through. But yeah, so the PlayStation 3's life cycle was pretty much to an end, right? And The Last of Us comes out, huge, massive hit. I remember I got it day it released. It was summer. My son used to play it while I was at work during the day, and then when I got home, I played it. And we kind of finished it at the same time. With that kind of timing of the way we played it. But the game came out, big, massive success. People loved it or whatever. So you get towards the end of the year, GTA 5 comes out, right? Now, at this point in time, when The Last of Us came out, I was still in the military. When GTA 5 came out, I was out of the military. So those were both right at the end of PlayStation cycle because the PlayStation 4 released in November of that same year. So when the PlayStation 4 came out, obviously, everybody's got a PlayStation 4 now. And a lot of times, if you know, sometimes you got to trade your old console in, bro, for the new one because, you know what I'm saying, it's expensive. And GameStop used to give you some decent dollars for like the old console. If you traded it in towards the new one, they would hook you up. So that's what essentially we did. We had two PS3s, but we did that for when I got the PS4. So when the PS4 comes out, you have all these games. that the PS4 had. And then The Last of Us, they were promising DLC. The development team, Naughty Dog, they just kept saying DLC's coming, DLC's coming. You know what I'm saying? It never came. Finally, on Valentine's Day of 2014, which is a few months into PlayStation 4's run, that's when it came out. That's why a lot of people didn't get to play it, because it was only on PS3. I remember it significantly because when it came out, we had the PS4 in the living room, right? The new console, and my son had the PlayStation 3 in his bedroom, and I had to play The Last of Us DLC in his bedroom because, you know what I'm saying? It only released on PS3 because at that time, The Last of Us hadn't been remastered yet for the PlayStation 4. So a lot of people didn't get it. You see what I'm saying? Like, it fell at a certain spot. And I remember even some friends of mine were like, The Last of Us came out over 6 months ago. PlayStation 4 is out now. DLC, $15 for the DLC? That's how much it was. It was $14.99 on PlayStation Network. And a lot of people just didn't want to pay that. It was like, the game's, whatever. I got it day one. As soon as that shit dropped, download it, let's play it. And it was incredible. Incredible. It was worth the wait, in my personal opinion. But that's why a lot of people didn't get to play it. So, like, a lot of people I've talked to, they talk about the Left Behind stuff, and they mention it with The Last of Us Remastered. I was like, yeah, but that's not the first time Left Behind was out there. It came out for the PlayStation 3 a few months before this, because in June of 14 is when The Last of Us released remastered. Oh, wait a minute, let me look. I got some notes here. Yeah, June 4th. Let's see, The Last of Us remastered. Hold up, I got the dates wrong here. But anyway, the way it fell at the end of that cycle is the reason why people kind of missed it until The Last of Us Remastered came out on PS4. Because the last time it happened, and this is one of the most famous ones, was the PlayStation 2, at the end of its cycle, the PlayStation 3 had came out. I do have that date. The PlayStation 3 came out on November 17, 2006. God of War 2 came out for the PlayStation 2 in March 13th, 2007. So, like, a lot of people didn't even have their PlayStation 2s anymore. They had PS3s, and they're like, why the fuck isn't the God of War 2 on the play? God of War 2 pushed the PlayStation 2 into the absolute limits of its power. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all it had was, like, this game, and after that, we can't do anymore. And that's pretty much what happened. After God of War 2, the PlayStation 2 floated away like the old consoles do, and the PlayStation 3 sort of took over. But God of War 2 was... It's remastered to the certain point where it's like on other consoles you could play, but that was one of the most famous times I've seen where people, like, the new console had come out, but they're still making fire games for the old one, like genre-changing games, which is what God of War 2 is. Let's see. Yo, dude, let me tell you something. Me and Joey were talking about this the other night, right? So GTA 5 came out in 2013, right? It's going to be 10 years, and it's moved from the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 to now the PlayStation 5. You can get it on there as well. And we were talking because we thought, like, that's the only game I've ever seen span that long as far as, but then we remembered our very own The Last of Us has done the same thing. Came out in 2013, right? Released remastered on PlayStation 4, has some DLC left behind, and it's once again been remastered for the PlayStation 5, and it's still relevant to this. I know it released last year. The Last of Us Part 1 did come out last year, but still pretty much 10 years, bro. Still pretty much 10 years, the same game has been flourishing for Sony, the same way Grand Theft Auto 5 is, which is why I think, oh yeah, Ray's in the house. Yo, what's good, Ray? Appreciate you stopping through. What up? They hollering at each other, shouting them out. But Rockstar Games, them some rock stars, because obviously you got Red Dead, and that's same sort of thing with the games, but two different genres as far as like this old Western shit and this sort of modern gangster shit you see from GTA. Still, both games flourishing. And for GTA 5, it's crazy because they're talking about making the next one, and it's like, when? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you keep adding shit to GTA 5. The GTA 5 still looks great. So whenever 6 comes out, man, they're going to have to do something big to make people like pony up to $70 to buy it. Because it's just like, if it looks just like GTA 5, what's to make me buy this next one? So, but shouts out to them for being able to keep people I know The Last of Us, I just said, has reached that span too, but like GTA 5 is like they constantly drop shit. They just keep working on that game. So anyway, I've gone on a little tangent here. Look, already past the time I said I'd be going 15, 20 minutes. So, but like I said, if the conversation is good, we'll keep going. And we will. So real quick, The Last of Us episode 7, Left Behind. All right, so let me see if I can get this stuff pulled up. All right, yeah, I got that. All right. So anyway, Last of Us episode 7, Left Behind. Basically that's the DLC that they released. I remember the DLC being it was a short little take, but it was before Ellie gets bit. It's before the things that take place in the actual story of The Last of Us, right? So like it's a precursor to that or whatever. And people hadn't gotten that. You got little teases of what happened, what Ellie was doing before the game started. And this is finally where you get to see just a little bit of that. And I think it's absolutely incredible that they put that out here. Now, when it comes to the show, again, another 10 out of 10 episode for me. And I won't break it down too far, the episode right here, because on Wednesday night, like I said, there's a link down below for John's channel for Movie Lovers Unite, where we will be doing a full-on, like, spoilerish review of this episode of the show. But I love it, man. I love it. And I'm going to bring up some, let's see. Bring up some just a couple shots from the episode, man. Let's see. Where's that? Oh, here we go. Sorry if this is small. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. But I know people seeing this and they're like, yo, what? And it's funny when it comes to the mask, because if you had have asked me, appreciate it, Ray, appreciate it. Hey, what's good, Beltray? What's good, homie? If you had have asked me before the show started, would these masks be in the show? I would have said, nah, man, they're probably not going to do the mask. But by the time episode 7 started, I was like, bro, the masks better be there, because they've done everything else so close to the game. You better have the mask. And lo and behold, they put the fucking mask on them. And I was like, yo, I was in heaven watching this last night, right? Like, pretty much this episode plays out, of course, in the game. And I love talking to people who never played the game, giving them the comparisons. And the game, there's a lot more that Ellie's doing as it fast forwards to the future. So you saw how the episode started when she was taking care of Joel, and then she has the flashback. Well, in this DLC, it keeps flashing back as to her trying to find a first aid kit and things of that nature to help Joel out, because obviously in the show he got stabbed. In the game, he fell on a piece of rebar, which does the same thing, put a big ass hole in his abdomen that she has to fix. So in the game, she's, like I said, she's looking for a first aid kit, and it keeps going back and forth between what you see between Ellie and Riley in the episode. And look, man, let me tell you something. They killed this shit, man. Again, and I'm saying it again. I'll probably be saying this until the end of the season. Certain aspects of the game, when they brought that shit to live action, we were like, to win us hardcore fans over, you have to do it right. And they absolutely did this. The dancing on the top of the glass casing, in the game, it's a little bit different. The mask come before that, but the fact that they did it with the mask and then they took the mask off, and you see that moment where Ellie kisses Riley and stuff like that. Oh, my bad, spoilers. If you haven't seen the episode, shit. That's why Allie bounced, because she knew it would be some spoilers, man. But anyway, that shit was spot on, man. I loved it. It was absolutely incredible, man. And obviously, if you've seen the episode, you know what happens. There's some biting and stuff right there, and the scene between the both of them. I think, you know what I think I need to do, and this is, I need to do a live playthrough of the Left Behind and let everybody see how close that shit is, how similar it is to the episode we saw last night on HBO, because man, it's a thing. And my wife she doesn't play the game or whatever, so every episode to her is like a fucking journey. And and I'm sitting there watching it thinking, oh, they're gonna do this, when are they gonna do this, like, when is this? And it's an adventure for me as well as her, because she's never seen it. And for me, it's like, what else are they gonna adapt into this thing? But yeah, man, obviously there's some stuff that's another thing when it comes to this show, is there's a lot of gameplay that they don't put in the show because and I've talked about this before in other reviews of the show, it's just, there has to be a trade-off. When you're playing a video game, you have a controller in your hand and you're ducking, and it's a mission where you're just constantly have to hide behind shit, ducking and shooting and stuff. That works for a video game. For a show, you could do it a couple times, but if you sit there for 60 minutes on an episode, you can't just watch somebody duck behind, pillars and desks and shit and shoot people, because it doesn't make sense for a television show, and you probably lose half the audience. Stuff like, is this all we're doing? So the trade-off that they made is incredible, and so I hope that people, if you're gamers and you haven't played it, once you finish this series, I hope you go and watch the game, or go and play the game, or at least watch playthroughs on YouTube, because it's pretty cheap, man. The Last of Us Remastered right now, it's probably about $20, man. $20, or even cheaper if you know somebody who has it and they can let you borrow the disc to play it. I would highly recommend it if you're a gamer. Even if you ain't a gamer, if I could pick up the sticks, bro, pick up the sticks and see if that works for you, man. Let me see. Oh shit. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, y'all. Like I said, short. This one, 26 minutes. Like I said, the conversation is good. Let's keep going. I did want to put a couple more shots on here. This scene in particular, in the game, you get to choose the poses, and they were doing some of the poses in the show that they do in the fucking game. Come on, bro. They killed it. They absolutely killed it. And Storm Reed, who plays Riley, incredible. She had to, as with a lot of actors who have been on this show, who have been on there for one episode, they have to give you something that you probably get hours of in the game. They had to give it to you in 45 minutes and make you understand and feel the same way you felt when you played the game. They're killing that shit, man. Storm Reed is absolutely incredible. I'm gonna save it. We'll see you guys. Another picture. This was an absolutely funny scene, but even the height difference, bro. The height difference is dope, man. That shit's in the game. All the stuff you might see here, and you might be like, the mask, is that in the game? That shit's in the game, bro. Oh, that's me. You already seen that. Anyway, but here we go. First edition of the ACS Universe Daily, and it's been good. Like I said, I'm almost at 30 minutes right now. I only plan on going 20, so good show. Anyway, shouts out to everybody who joined in for this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow about the same time, 5:30, I guess, and we'll chit chat for a little bit then. A little daily hangout, if you will. Besides that, let me cut the bitch off. This beat is killing it, though. If you haven't heard of Anderson .Paak, dude is fire. He's fire musician, great vocals. Dude is dope. But turn it off for now. Anyway, appreciate everybody who stopped through for this. Like I said, maiden voyage of the ACS Universe Daily, and see you guys tomorrow. Probably. I'm pretty sure I will. Anyway, on my outro. Peace out.